I prefer rhubarb than peas and carrots kind of thing, but yeah, it's fine.
Isn't
We'll do
rhubarb poisonous by some stretch?
that. If you eat it raw, I don't know. Well, who the fuck found out? You know what I mean? That actually, if you cook it, then it's fine. If you eat it raw, it's poisonous. I
I
don't know.
think the one that I'm most fascinated by knowing what the origin of is artichoke. Like,
Oh
who the
right,
fuck figured out that you have to like boil and steam this thing and then scrape it with your teeth in order
that's not
to eat it?
poisonous, is it? That's
It's
not
not
poisonous.
poisonous, but the process to
Oh
eat
no.
it is so
Oh right, yeah, yeah, again, like
phosphorus that
yeah,
like
yeah. It's mad, isn't it? It's like well, it's not like it, but I'm thinking of puffer fish as well. It's like, oh yeah,
yeah.
there's a shitload of that which is like highly poisonous, but some of it's quite nice actually. Yeah, so yeah, that's quite funny. So yeah, we're kind of it's just me and you tonight, really, isn't it? Which is well, this afternoon, whatever time you're in the afternoon, because
It's nighttime for me.
is it night? No, isn't it daytime for you all the time because you don't
Uh,
sleep much?
yeah, well, or
Because you're a
nighttime all
vampire.
the time. I
Yeah,
do live on the dark side of the moon.
you do. You do. Yeah, I forgot where I always forget where you're located, really, because yeah, I do
Yeah.
visit now and again, but yeah, it's constantly dark. I mean, does the moon? Because the moon doesn't rotate. No, hold on, it
Well,
does rotate. Well, hold on.
according to
What the,
rapper Bob.
the moon's flat as well as the Earth.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well,
Did you hear what Neil deGrasse Tyson said? He
yeah,
posted something. I can't even remember
and
what the. It was funny whatever he posted. It was something like, maybe you're thinking it's like hundreds of years, sort of behind sort of modern science, but at least we can still appreciate your music or some shit like that, wasn't it? I can't remember. I yeah, completely butchering whatever he said. Whatever he said made me laugh, which is good. Do you reckon that sort of Bob is real, or just he was just sort of trolling, or I mean, I don't know. You could be fucking kidding me. Really? Do you think? Ace, are you there? Oh no, is it just me on my own? It's going to be like the Tony Show for for a while. I think I might just message Ace and say, I can't hear him. What shall I talk about? My own. We might have to might have to get Ace back onto it. Yeah. Oh no, Ace has disappeared. Okay, so welcome to episode 17 of the Coffee Jelly Hour. I'm UK music bitch Tony Longworth, and I'm currently on my own. I should be with Ace Bunny Boy Muns, but he has disappeared. I'm sure he'll be coming back in a minute. I hope he is, because there's only a certain amount of time I can ramble on. Jessica could not join us. Darren is still missing, presumed brutally murdered by Ace, and we we were this close to having an audio mafia special. Sam JJ was going to join us, but at the last minute he couldn't make it. Nick, who wrote the awesome Jock versus Nerd, wasn't going to appear because we don't actually know his surname. I'm just looking. Yeah, it's okay. Ace is coming back on in a second. I think I need to re-invite him on. Should we get him back on? Should we get Ace back on? Come on, Ace. Here we go. Let's invite. Right. Let's see. He'll be here in a minute. So yeah, so it was going to be sort of 2/3 of the Ice Cream Social Audio Mafia, but we're gonna do that another week. Obviously not this week. It's maybe me just rambling for a little bit of time, and let me just message Ace. But I mean, we could talk a little bit about. Here's Ace. We could talk a little bit about music. I've just been rambling for ages. Jesus Christ!
It's fine. What a terrible time. Yeah, that was random. I lost internet connection. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. Because boy, wouldn't that make an interesting show?
Yeah, You know what? I was surprised. You know what? I've done the intro. I've explained that Sam
Oh.
JJ couldn't make it, but I was just going to say we could still do kind of an audio special because me and Ace and Moxie Fox have actually wrote some music, and I'm going to get my arse in gear and finish a few bits off. Just to tell you, Ace, I like to sort all our business out live on air.
Oh no, that's the best time to do it.
It is. It is. This week I have been rehearsing vocals to go with your vocals in Silicon Sally.
Yeah,
So I've been
sort of hide my lisp.
Shh! Don't say that. Don't. I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that. So we're you know, I think apart from that, we're in enough there with the music. In fact, you know, should we do it live on air? What are we actually calling the band? We sticking with Captain Creep?
Yeah, Captain Creep. I'm cool with that because it's just
no, that's cool. That's cool. So you heard it first here.
Yeah, and so before we got too much on music, so I actually do want to talk about music and stuff. I'm working on possible prints for. I have not ran this by Paul or Matt yet because I was running it by. I'm running it by Scoops first, but I'm working on posters.
Nice.
My philosophy is if enough people are interested, if Matt and Paul say no, then I'm just going to be an entrepreneur about this shit because there's already. Yeah. I've been privately contacted a lot by people like, oh, can I buy some of that art that you've made? And I'm like, well, so I guess the inside scoop right now is the first poster that I've done, and it's pretty much finished except for the coloring. It's a mock-up of a Tales from the Crypt cover, and it's Tales from the Churn, and it's a picture of vampire Bill Cosby looming over a grave that says Iron Fist McGee with a zombie fist bursting out of it.
No, having a ball.
And the only reason why this stuck with me is because recently my obsession with Tales from the Crypt. And I've been so obsessing over it, and then you realize there are the three storytellers in the classic comic book. There's the Vault Keeper, the Crypt Keeper, and the Old Witch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So three of them. So in the Churn.
Yeah, so you got the audio guy, the famous Paul, and the sweet Maddie D.
That, you know what? I really want to see that. That is such a great idea.
I'll have to show you the work in progress here soon. But my second idea is I'm doing a Don Bluth style a mock cartoon image using their anthropomorphized characters in the style of Don Bluth, like Feifel Goes West or We're Back kind of.
Oh, I mean, did Don Bluth also do? Is it my imagination, or did he do
Secret of Nim?
No. I'm just thinking, what were those video games?
Dragon's Quest, Dragon's
Lair.
Yeah, he did Dragon's Lair. Yes,
Space Ace. Yeah. I kind of like pictured sort of Paul, Matt, and Jacob in that style. Since you said that, I was thinking, that's amazing.
I really wanted to do a faux kids movie cover.
Yeah.
And use characters like Grizzly Barista, Pegasus.
So many characters. I'm still thinking about sort of Tales from the Churn. That's such an amazing idea. That is so good.
It's essentially done. I contracted it to my partner to help me with the painting of the background.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is going to be so good. So you haven't asked Matt and Paul yet?
I basically I've been trying to accumulate if anybody would even be interested because I don't want to.
Shit, yeah.
I didn't want
people interested. I'm sure people will be.
Yeah, I didn't want to proposition them and then have them be like, okay, and then them print off posters and then nobody wants it. So I wanted to get the numbers first and
definitely, yeah. But I'm thinking they're just gonna. I think people will go nuts over that. I mean, instantly, that's just such a great idea. It's just I can picture it now. I want to see it now. You should give a preview here. You could do it. No, you don't have to. Don't.
I wouldn't even know how to do that right now.
No, it's okay. Don't. If Darren was here, he could tell us, but he's dead. buried on the moon's surface. Yeah, so that sounds really, really good. So you're thinking of all the other characters like Pegasus and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the three that I really wanted to do, there was a trifecta that I've been wanting to draw for a while. The original one that I have sketches for, but I haven't completed, was I wanted to do an old time carnival poster, like an old Barnum and Bailey's Show on Earth kind of.
Yeah, I can picture that as well.
And I've always had this big obsession with Don Bluth, so I'm like, I really want to do like a fake, like as if it was a VHS cover straight out of like the 90s, and you would see this thing and you'd rent this thing. And
wow. Yeah. I like it. I love that idea, and I'm sure Matt and Paul will just be well into that. Really, that's it's great. I want one. Definitely, I want one for the studio wall.
So David. Speaking of studios, David Bowie's Black Star.
I actually listened to it this week and really, really enjoyed it. But it was weird because we kind of just sitting down for dinner one night and it's like, I'll put some music on. It's like, I'm gonna put that on. Started listening to it. My wife was like, "Is this David Bowie?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it was such a weird experience because it was such a good album, but we were really, really sad, obviously because of his passing and everything. And I kind of went on a bit of a downer. Really, I did really enjoy it.
It is a depressing album. Did you hear the bass that I was talking about?
Oh, I did. As soon as that come on, I was like, Ace told me about this. And my wife was like, "What?" I was like, "No, never mind." No. I was telling her, you know, and I really, because I was like, listen to the bass, it's all over the place. It's really, it is amazing. It was just like, holy crap. But then as we listened to different tracks, sort of like Tracy was going, "Oh yeah, didn't he write some of these about him dying and it was for his fans and his family?" Was like, yeah, and it just sort of got darker and darker. And then after we listened to that album, I was listening to it on Spotify, so we just basically played random sort of Bowie tracks from all of his albums, and we kind of just listened to them for a while, and I kind of got really, I mean, this will probably put you on a bit of a down as well. I got really sad because I kind of thought back to when Zappa died, and I was such a big fan, and obviously, you know, I was devastated, but then I realized soon after Zappa had recorded so much stuff. I mean, when he was alive, he released 60 albums. But he had a whole vault full of all this unreleased stuff that was recorded live, songs that were never released and stuff like that. And slowly these have started coming out. But when I was listening to sort of Bowie, I'm thinking he probably hasn't got much else to release. There might be sort of B-sides, remixes. I don't know. And I was kind of a little bit sad about that.
See, allegedly he has vaults. There are hidden Bowie things where he's recorded albums and he hasn't released them, allegedly. However, they're threatening to release this stuff, but they're threatening to release this stuff piecemeal among best of compilations. And that kind of upsets me because for the last 10 years, it feels like in the wake of there not being new Bowie material, they've just been releasing best ofs. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit shit then. So you've got to buy an album, which you'll probably have most of the music on there apart from a track or two. That's pretty shit. You need to listen to it on Apple Music or Spotify, really. So that's probably the best place. But that's a shame. But no, we did enjoy it. We kind of sat and we did listen for quite a while. I was like, you know, one of the things, I'm not a fan, as in a big fan of Bowie, but his music and really his image and everything, it's as such that even if you're not into him, you can instantly listen to him and enjoy him. It's such a weird thing. It's like as soon as we put it on, it's like, yeah, this is good, you know. And it's and you can't really say that about many people. You know, many sort of artists and bands. You know, there's a lot of people who you'll either love or hate. But I think Bowie, I think most people just like what he's done, or they're at least like something he's done, which is amazing. Did you listen to Penn Sunday School last week and the stories of Penn with Bowie? Did you hear
that? That was tough.
Yeah. It was kind of like, he kind of only met him twice, didn't he? as well, because I think initially when he was talking, I'm thinking, oh, he really sort of hung out with him for quite a while. But it was only twice, wasn't it? It was when they were off Broadway in New York. He was in the audience, and Penn went out, didn't he, to pick someone from the crowd, and he sees this like sort of slim, sort of tall guy just sitting there, kind of facing slightly away from him, and then turns around. He's kind of just got lost in his eyes, and it's like, oh my god, it's David Bowie. And then the other one was he went for dinner with David Bowie, Iggy Pop, and Lou Reed. How mad is that? It's kind of like, wow, what a dinner. And I mean, the whole dinner was like, so you've done speed though, haven't you, Penn? No, never done any drugs. You've done weed? No, never done any drugs. Acid? No, never done any drugs. Which is but like,
you still have a little bit of wine with dinner, right?
Yeah. It's mad. And on the way home, they were all singing, weren't they? They were doing backing vocals for an Iggy Pop song, weren't they, in the streets? And that was quite amazing. So yeah, that was really tough. And then was it Penn who mentioned the famous Bowie quote, which I meant to Google actually, but it was something along the lines of Bowie once said that he's a closet heterosexual.
Yeah,
I thought was great. So I was like, oh, that is class. That was good. But yeah, I was kind of just like, I do like Bowie's last album.
It is a amazing. If it has one fault, it's the fact that it's 8 songs long.
I was quite surprised. I was like, oh, is that it? But it was good. It was good. I think I need to listen to it now again, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, because I did feel quite down listening to it. It was quite.
It's tough. Yeah, it is a very, I don't want to say abrasive, but I think that's the only word that I can describe it. It's,
yeah. It was some of them. I was like listening to the sort of lyrics, looking, oh shit, this is about him dying, and all. I was just like, this is oh yeah, how to ruin a dinner. I'm gonna put Bowie's latest album on. We all just sat there like that, going, oh okay, I feel a bit down, but. No, it was good. You know what? I haven't watched any of the music videos. I must get around to watching.
They are fantastic. There's 2, and they're fucking amazing.
Is it Lazarus and
Lazarus and Black Star?
Right. So yeah, I need to watch them. I must do that actually. It's that sounds good. Changing the subject slightly, completely. I've just finished rewatching Rick and Morty again. Literally today, I just watched that last episode, season 2, and I'm just like, I can't wait for season 3 now.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is
awesome.
The best.
Awesome.
And recently, I've been re-going over TV shows that I really enjoy, and among Rick and Morty, another one that I absolutely adore is Bob's Burgers.
You know, I've seen clips. I've never actually sat down to watch it, and I must do it. Another sort of cartoon that I really do like. I mean, Paul was saying, he was saying Venture Brothers and Regular Show, which I agree on both. Oh yeah, it's great. Regular Show. Yeah, I know it's kids, but it's brilliant. But the other one, my daughter watches loads, and I'm absolutely fascinated. Have you ever seen Gumball?
Oh, I know of Gumball. I've never seen it. It looks bizarre.
It's so bizarre, but it's fucking amazing. It really is. Just everything about it. I just sort of love the characters. You know, these TV shows, especially the cartoons, my favorite character in probably all of them, even probably Rick and Morty, Gumball, I guess. I mean, you can say Simpsons, Family Guy. It's the dad. South Park. It's Randy, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's just, I just love, for some reason, I just love the dad. And the dad in Gumball, he's such a fuckwit. You just got to love him. You know what I mean? It's just like, this guy's amazing. He's such an idiot.
If you're fans of the dad character, Bob's Burgers is right up your alley.
Really?
100%. It is one of the... It's a great show. I've never seen Gumball. I've seen bits and pieces, and then going back, I've been a supporter of Venture Brothers since it came out, and that's one of the reasons why I'm having trouble, because I feel like that last season was so bad.
Was it bad? Yeah, I haven't seen the last season, to be honest. I've seen bits and pieces, but
it was very counterintuitive. It was everything that they didn't want it to be. Well, because for however many years, they always proclaimed that they didn't want to do huge over arcs. They were always against that. It was always sort of the joke that, like, you know, they set up the whole something called the Orb trilogy, and it turns out that the Orb was broken. So it feels weird that the last season served as nothing but a big over arc. Like it started to read as more anime and less a comedy show.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame.
And I've watched the season several times. I actually have the season, and I've watched it several times, and I've tried my hardest to enjoy it. Yeah. And I've really tried, because I love them. I mean, I've listened to all their audio commentary. I've followed them for the longest time. I mean,
you really want to like it.
I really want to like it, because I really like them. They essentially are people that I would hang out with. You know, the reason why I got into Venture Brothers is not because I'm too young for the Johnny Quest reference. I'm too young for the 70s TV show reference, but all their David Bowie, the Residents, the Batcave, all their reference to goth music, all their reference to The Cure, all that shit, and their film references completely hit every single time for me.
Oh, that's but it's a shame that last season just doesn't quite make it. I'm hoping sort of the season 3 of Rick and Morty is going to be awesome. I'm pretty sure it is. Did you see that competition, the Rick and Morty competition, where you could donate to that AIDS charity or anti-AIDS charity? It wasn't a pro-AIDS charity, and you could win a chance to win doing a alien voice on the next season of Rick and Morty, which I threw a bit of cash at that. I was like, oh, fucking hell, that would be awesome. That would be really, really good. So, and I just got like a thank you, a Rick and Morty thank you card from them just before. I was like, oh, that's sweet. So I don't know when they're announcing who wins that kind of thing, but how cool would that be, doing a voice in Rick and Morty season 3?
That is how you should do it. That's how you should do your cost. That's how you should do your fundraisers, because even if nobody really wins, at least money goes to a good cause.
Exactly. It's like, I'll throw cash at that. That's well good. So keep your fingers crossed. I want to win, really. I want to go to. I think that they actually take you to their studio and you actually record there, which is that would be amazing. So that would be really good. The other thing is, I was just thinking about Rick and Morty, the game. Pocket Mortys is really good. I've been playing that quite a bit, and it is Pokemon, but it's obviously Rick and Morty, so it's like sort of.
I fucking wish I had a phone or a tablet.
Haven't you got a phone?
No.
Really?
I don't have friends. You need friends to have a phone. So.
I don't know. Yeah, it is good though. It's got loads of like cool sort of samples from Rick and Morty in there, and the whole point is to go to different dimensions and then sort of fight. I mean, there's all these different Ricks who've got all different sort of Mortys, so you've got to fight, challenge the Ricks, and then fight the Mortys, and you can actually go and fight some of the wild Mortys and put like a little chip on the head when they're sort of very weak, and then you can take control of them. So you've got to get more and more Mortys, and there's all different ones, and there's you've got your standard Morty, and then I'm trying to think, you've got Biker Morty, Scruffy Morty.
You got Morty with one cat, Morty with two cats, Crazy Cat Morty.
Yeah,
there's also cruelly enough, they made Rabbit Morty, and there's Evil Rabbit Morty.
And what was the other one? There was the Jerry's Game Morty as well, which was good. And then there was the advertising board Morty, which is the is it what was the fucking line? Apples are great. Whatever Jerry's line was on there. It's just it is good.
Try apples or hungry apples.
Yeah, which is great.
I got a tweet from McDonald's, by the way. Speaking of advertisement,
Right. Okay. As in the burger place.
Yeah, as in the burger place. Okay. Yesterday, I went out for breakfast with my friend, and I decided to get McDonald's pancakes because I'm still a vegetarian, but you got to eat. So and I completely basically I always forget that the most filling substance on the planet is McDonald's pancakes. Like there is that. I always get them and I'm like, oh god, 3 little tiny things, and then by the end I'm like, so full. So I came home from that experience, and I was gonna make a joke tweet. My joke tweet was gonna be that they should make dildos out of the stuff that they used to make McDonald's pancakes because it's very filling. And then I opted out of the joke at the last minute.
Why?
I don't know. I thought it would be in bad taste. I wasn't thinking. Obviously, for some reason, I thought that would be in bad taste.
You need to post that later. Satisfyingly filling. That's what you need. But
all I said was McDonald's pancakes are surprisingly filling, and then like 30 minutes later, I get a. Well, we're so glad you enjoy our pancakes, Ace. We hope that you'll come and visit us again. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Somebody had to type that.
Shit, that's funny. That is good.
Some poor Korean man sitting there, like at gunpoint, had to compliment me on the fact that I ate pancakes.
North Korean or South?
Either or. Chinese.
Either or. Same thing. There's our racist sort of... joke. Yeah. Okay,
so I listened to a book last night that was fucking amazing. Are you familiar with the artist Nick Cave?
I am indeed, yes.
He might be my last living legend. It feels my last living idol. I realized because literally all the rest of them are dead now.
They're all dead.
Yeah. So
another feeling.
I finally got around to listening to the Sick Bag song, which is an epic poem / biography of his.
Oh, right. Okay.
And he reads it.
About this. Yeah.
It's, oh, god damn it. It is so powerful and good. It's very self-indulgent. And that's its one downfall. If I'm going to give it an accurate review, right. It's him being very pretentious and being very self-indulgent. It's beautiful. It's poetry. It's beat poetry. It's very... I think one of my favorite things is he basically refers to his muse in this case as the sick bag. And it's filled with all of these characters that he draws upon. And he talks about how he looks in there and there's there's like a little Brian Ferry in there, and there's a Janis Joplin, and he kind of refers to all these characters inside of a sick bag who he's drawing inspiration from, and it's very, and there's one moment where he talks about talking to his friend, and this was right when Lou Reed just died. And his friend is telling him that Lou Reed fought all the way to the very ending and then went out peacefully like a rock star. And then he mentions basically in the next chapter that among seeing people like Elvis and all these other past legends, suddenly Lou Reed is now with them, and it's this very it's a very poetic, and it's kind of spiritual, but it's not spiritual.
But it
has that kind of vibe to it. It's a beautiful listen, and shockingly, the audio book version, because the Sick Bag song is basically an epic poem. So it's not terribly long. It's just shy of 2 hours. Meaning that it's $16 for the audio download, and it's I think $50 for the book, the ebook, and the audio download, and then for $750, because this was actually written on sick bags. For $750, you can get one of the sick bags that he wrote this on. He wrote this poem he was on tour. I guess I should tell the story.
Was it on the plane?
On the plane from gig to gig. He would be writing on the back of sick bags, and that's how he wrote this whole thing.
So real sick bags, nice.
Yeah, so the $750 edition, you get one of the sick bags that he wrote on.
Holy crap!
But it is
how many of them? How many? Is it obviously limited?
Yeah, it's only limited. You basically he sells according to the cities.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Wow. That is different, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. The whole process is different. The whole
I like it.
Nick Cave is so enigmatic. And even in writing a biography, he does so as an enigma.
And
one, by the way, this brings me back to I've been a Nick Cave fan for about 730 years, but
right.
One of my favorite Nick Cave stories, I have two. One is that I sometimes do art streams, and I had no art to demonstrate. So I decided to do a full day stream of me just reading his second book, The Lonesome Death of Bunny Monroe.
All right, yeah.
Forgetting that my nickname is Bunny, so anybody who came in to listen was sort of thinking I was reading fiction about myself. Like maybe Basically, I had gotten, I had fielded a couple of questions where people are like, "Are you reading? Did you make your own fan fiction? Did you write this?"
It does sound like, doesn't it? It could be. It could be you.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like it.
But the Six Pack song.
Where were you? Where were you reading that? Where were you reading it? What were you just doing it? What, on video? Or?
I was doing a similar to like a game stream.
Right. Got it. Yeah.
And Six Pack song is amazing. I guess in prep for the idea that we were doing a music specific show, I basically indulged in a lot of music stuff.
Right.
And Nick Cave is he's my last living inspiration.
Oh,
we've lost. Well, some of us, to be fair, some of them have been dead for a while, but
yeah. It is tough. I know how you feel, because it's kind of like Zappa sort of dies, and then Bill Hicks dies, and then probably a load of other people that I like died. And I was thinking, everyone I like sort of just dies, basically, don't they? I mean, I know we all die, but it's like, So yeah,
but you kind of don't want to outlive them. There's a tough realization. It keeps dawning on me that there's not going to be another new Bowie album, at least a real new Bowie album. I mean, there'll be these captured memories. There'll always be little tidbits, but there'll never be a genuine, like ephemeral thing. Speaking of that, I just misused the word terribly. I think I mispronounced it. I also watched Nick Cave's film, 20,000 Days on Earth, and he has the sexiest description of writing a song.
All right, go on.
He describes the process of writing a song as his favorite thing about songwriting is that moment where you first get the idea. Because in that way, a song hasn't formed it. You've yet to tame it. It's still this sort of wild beast covered in potential. You've yet to record it. You've yet to
something you can't quite control and tame initially.
And so he basically describes that all of the latter day Bad Seed stuff is him trying to capture that moment. That moment of experimentation, that moment of like dragging on and really trying to. Have you? I don't know if you've gotten around. I think it was 2 years ago now. Nick Cave's last album, "Push the Sky Away," is a perfect example of that kind of audio recording.
No, I have. I might have heard the odd track from it, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a strange listen because it's very. I guess spacey is the best word I can use, because it's like it is him trying to capture the songwriting the songwriting process.
Yeah. Wow, it's something that you can't really define. I like the way he describes it though. It is.
The best part is that it's like this wild creature that you're not even acquainted with yet.
Yeah,
it exists. The muses are there, but you it could be anything.
Yeah.
You've yet to pluck this. You've yet to pluck this idea out of the air and then tame it and then force it to have verses and choruses and
tame it, control it, sort of kind of try to make it your own, but not at the same time. It's really. Yeah, it is true. It could go so many ways. It could go, and it's I like that. I do like that.
Well, because especially, and man, this is me becoming pretentious. It rings back to my earliest time recording with the band, or rather practicing with the band. And the first song we came up with was a 50-minute jam, where we just kept playing like the same riffs over and over again, and I kept reiterating different lyrics, and we kept doing variations, and there was, it was just that constant. It was blues. It was that like we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep finding this. And it was just it was so weird because it was like everybody was sort of learning their instruments in not literally, but it was like learning your instruments in what we were doing. True. Finding that conglomeration.
It's kind of one thing playing instruments and another thing when you start jamming, and you kind of learning a whole new sort of skill set for that, aren't you? Really? Because I mean, we do that quite a bit in one of my bands, Flesh Resonance. Now and again, we just like go off on one for 30 minutes, just fucking around, record it, listen to it. A lot of shit in there, but then there's certain things you're like, well, that kind of works, and I kind of love all that. I mean, Zappa did a load of that, really. Just sort of jams and solos and stuff, and just sort of went off on one and just see where it sort of took them. And and he always had like sort of top notch sort of musicians who could do that and follow various sort of signals. So in the middle of a song, you might go off for like then 10 minutes to do a mad solo and various other sort of pieces in there, and then come back to that initial song just from doing little sort of twitches and whatever. And the band knew what he was doing, kind of thing, which was fucking amazing. And
have we had a mad scientist since Zappa?
Yeah. That's exactly kind of what it was.
But
like.
have we had somebody since Zappa? Because there's like because in that vein, I very much think that spiritually, Zappa is very much related to Sun Ra.
Yeah. You could be right, actually. Yeah.
I guess the only two that I could possibly say, at least in some vein, feel very Zappa-y, not necessarily musically, but idealistically, might be somewhere between Nick Cave and Trent Reznor.
Yeah. You're probably right, actually.
But
Trent, experimenting.
Yeah, lots of experimenting, lots of open. I guess it's just Trent hasn't had the volume that Zappa has. That's the one thing that I am disappointed that Reznor doesn't produce nearly as much stuff.
Yeah, we kind of want more, really, don't we? Like, I'll have more of the same, please. Just keep doing what you're doing, kind of thing. And I mean, everything sort of like Reznor sort of releases, I do love just instantly. It's just, I mean, that last episode of Rick and Morty with the track "Hurt" on it is fucking dark as anything at the end. I was just thinking about it, just watching it before, thinking, holy shit, this is just looking so dark. And it's just like, you're thinking, holy shit.
It's great to hear "Hurt" because I always forget how much I love that song.
Oh yeah.
I always default to hating it. I'm always like, that's the one song. Ugh.
It's because a lot of people go "Hurt," it's amazing, and you're like, yeah. But then when you hear it, you're like, holy crap!
It genuinely is an amazing.
And you know what's like really, really sad? The Johnny Cash version, the video. It's just the first time I watched that, I was like, I just could cry because
it was a
hard dying.
It's fucking brilliant. I love latter day Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah.
His American songwriting series was so fucking amazing, but him doing "Hurt" was fantastic. And what Trent Reznor had to say about it, like essentially like how it was how this weird song he wrote about being very, I believe he referred to it, and I'm sort of taking it out of context. He wasn't necessarily dismissive, but he was like, this song that I wrote as a whiny teenager was suddenly made into something. It was no longer his
singing it, isn't it?
Like after Johnny Cash did it, it was no longer his, and it was a very beautiful terminology how he sort of placed it, because it's humbling. Because at the same time, while one can always say Johnny Cash is this monumentous success, Trent Reznor is certainly no pushover when it comes to musical success.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, I mean, you look at sort of Reznor now, and he's sort of writing all these sort of soundtracks for big movies, isn't he? Basically, it's like, wow, that is amazing. And he's still, it's his own style,
Yeah.
And, you know, I just respect him for that. He hasn't gone off and done your standard cliched sort of film soundtrack. He's like, no, I'm going to do it my way. And it always works. It's just these amazing minimal sort of soundtrack. I just absolutely fucking love. It is so good. But that Johnny Cash video, I saw an interview with the director of the music video, and he was just saying, yeah, we meant to sort of shoot outside and in, you know, somewhere locally, but he was too ill to sort of leave his house and all that. It's like, oh man.
Which ties back to Nick Cave, because late in his life, Johnny Cash became friends with Nick Cave.
Oh, right.
And he really admired him. And Nick Cave, in the Sick Bag song, writes about seeing Johnny Cash and seeing a man who could barely walk and who could barely move. And then suddenly he would pick up his guitar and he would start singing and he would be well again.
Wow.
And Nick Cave talked about being entranced by that because so many people he knew were perfectly healthy and well, but they'd pick up their guitar and they'd suddenly become sick.
Exactly the opposite. You're like, oh, right, okay. I like that.
Yeah. So now going back to Trent Reznor slightly.
Yeah.
I think I figured out what Trent Reznor is. The formula to make Trent Reznor is 1 part Frank Zappa, 1 part Danny Elfman.
Yeah. You're probably right. I kind of like that. I like that mix.
That is precisely how you make a Trent Reznor.
Yeah, exactly. You've sort of sussed out the ingredients for Trent, definitely. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's good, and that does explain. That probably explains why I like his music a lot. Actually, there's definitely a lot of Zappa in there, and Elfman.
Well, what other rock star went on to have such success in doing soundtracks besides Danny Elfman? Because Danny Elfman.
Yeah, Elfman.
Yeah, I always find it weird because to me, I obviously grew up with the soundtracks, but then I have older friends who are like, you don't understand how preposterous it is that the bozo from Oingo Boingo went on to make these amazing...
Yeah. Is this that guy who was in that band? Are you sure? I knew him.
Song about pedophilia?
Yeah, well, you know what? I knew him from his soundtracks, and then went backwards and went, "Holy shit! Is this where he come from?"
Yeah, same here. Actually, my first recollection of who the fuck he was obviously Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare, yeah, that's the big introduction to him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's something particularly mesmerizing, incidentally, coming away from Nightmare Before Christmas and going to Oingo Boingo, because most of Oingo Boingo songs are about sexual deviation. Yeah. So you get to hear Jack Skellington sing about how he loves little girls, or how people have nasty habits like dressing up in leather and walking each other like dogs. So it's kind of nice to know what Skellington. Yeah, it's kind of nice to know the other stuff he's singing when he's not being melodramatic about.
Yeah. It's fascinating where he's come from, kind of thing. And I suppose it's the same with Reznor as well.
Yeah, because
there's going to be people listening to his soundtracks not knowing who he is.
Exactly.
Backwards, and they'll go, "Fuck, who is this guy?"
It's not like he's constantly producing rock music. We get a Nine Inch Nails album every 6 years at best. And even then, they're kind of. I hate to use the term obscure, but because he's not going through major channels, he's making music for fans. You cannot deny the fact that. You know, especially the last one, Hesitation Marks, was such an album for people who like Nine Inch Nails. It didn't feel like he was trying to hook in new people.
Yeah. You might not get a lot of new people in listening to that, but for us, it's kind of like, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last time he really tried hard was at least to hook new people was with Teeth. Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, because the song "Hand That Feeds" was kind of a song to get kids into it and shit, but then since then it feels like Nine Inch Nails has just become whatever.
Yeah. And to be honest, that is a lot like sort of Zappa. That's Zappa kind of wrote for the fans, and really Zappa wrote for himself. You know what I mean? He just wanted to do something that he liked, kind of thing, which he knew his fans would like, and that was it. And if other people didn't like it, then sort of fuck them. Really, that was his attitude. And I think, you know, the reason Zappa was so popular is because he got signed at a time when you could do what you wanted to do as opposed to do what a record label wanted you to do. And it kind of took off from there, really. In fact, when he got signed, the Mothers got signed, I don't think was it Warner Brothers who signed them initially. Whoever signed them, big label, I don't think they knew what the fuck they'd signed, really. When they were in the studio recording the first album, they were like, what the fuck is this? But it's I'm not complaining.
Oh yeah.
I still love his music. I mean, we've actually got in here at home in our kitchen, we've got an internet radio with a shitload of different sort of presets on, and one of them is just a Zappa channel, and all it is, it's called Zappa Tears, and it's just bootleg gigs of Frank Zappa. So he literally just put it on. It's like, yep, 1981, that's cool. Yep, 1977, yeah, that's great. So every time I'm in the kitchen doing whatever, I'm like that, Zappa. It's just like full on Zappa concerts, which is great, really. So yeah, that's my life in the kitchen.
Yeah, at the risk of becoming a Zappa themed podcast, I must admit that the only positive to being on the other side of Zappa's career is that we exist in a world where Frank Zappa, David Bowie, and Bob Dylan all have huge careers to always look back on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is true. It's
like I realize how strange it is that in our era, in our time period, we have basically experienced Mozart, Beethoven in our time frame. We've had real musical geniuses.
Yeah, real total genius. Yeah, you're right.
Because another one is Bob Dylan. I don't think anytime soon people will be forgetting Bob Dylan.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, Bob Dylan's someone I do go back to from time to time and just start sort of going through sort of his massive catalogue of music and just really, really digging it. It's like, wow, this is great. I mean, his whole voice is, he's such a character. It is great. It is. I do love a bit of Dylan as well. There's so much good music in there, and so sort of there's so much stuff which is like so emotional, heartfelt, and it's just great. It really is. I just want to listen to loads of music. This is like a music special, this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I did all my prep thinking about music. I did all my prep wanting to,
which is great. Just reminds me, we've just sent a Jock versus Nerd question into Ice Cream Social. There is a music question in there. That just reminded me. So hopefully that'll be on.
There's theoretically two musical questions.
Oh, there is. Sorry, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I did tell him there's three questions. I told him several times there's three questions. So if Jacob fucks up and only puts the two on, I do apologize. In fact, I tell you, if he does fuck up, then I'm going to be sending that last question to him and say, you better play this on the next episode because Ace is not happy. So it's so yeah, I'm kind of looking. I'm hoping that might be out next week. That one, fingers crossed. So
I hope so. I don't know. I'll
be quite excited about it. It's just good. It was good. You did a good editing job on that because when anyone listens to it, it's only quite short, isn't it? It's only a few minutes.
Yeah. I got it down to 4. That was the best. Was it 4 minutes?
Do. Yeah. But you know what? I was amazed because we fucked around for 30 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was just like it was hilarious.
38 minutes of the weirdest, strangest.
Right. Have you still got the original one?
I do, yeah.
You know what we do? When it's been on Ice Cream Social, we need to put out the Ice Cream Social version with the music on our Mixcloud, our new Mixcloud page, and we'll put. Should we put the unedited version?
Yeah, the unedited version.
There's some stuff from you which is hilarious. Which I was like, oh yeah, we need to put that out there really. So talking about our Mixcloud page, we now have a Mixcloud page. So it's mixcloud.com/coffeejellyhour. So you can stream all our stuff there.
And I'm hoping the people who wanted to listen are still around.
Yeah, I'm sure Sarah's listening to it. Jessica. It's the only person listening, really. Isn't it?
Hi, Jessica.
Yeah, hi, Jessica. Wherever you are, come back next week, Jessica. People are listening to it. Actually, I did check.
Oh, excellent. Before, I'm sure we lost them by now with our incredibly nerdy music talk.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see anyway. Hopefully we'll get more listens when it goes onto Mixcloud as well.
Yeah.
So it's all
to be fair.
good.
To be fair, I am always up for nerdy music talk. I live for nerdy music.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely. Music is great. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to us getting our shit together and getting our Captain Creep stuff out there, which is that's going to be fun, isn't it? So we need
It is. I'm looking forward. I'm already eager to do more music. I for the longest time have had the biggest urge to do like cosmic goth jazz.
I'm like, really? Holy cosmic goth.
Well, when I say cosmic, I mean similar to like the Boards of Canada, where it's very spacey and
I'm into kind of dark space rock.
A little Nick Cave.
Yeah.
And this is a project that I've been wanting to get off the air since I was in freshman in high school. I had always, and basically every single time I'd start a band, I would take the members aside and be like, I want to do this project. And basically I would always get some sort of cohort in this attempt, and then that cohort would never follow suit.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Right. They just weren't interested in doing that style, or
it was just like because basically my go-to is like you gotta take like Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan, Nick Cave, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash. You have to find this sort of folk rock, and then you've got to compile the Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, and you gotta find the in between, and it's like that's impossible for people to comprehend. It blows up their heads.
Wow, that sounds I'm kind of liking that. I'm liking that whole mix. I can imagine what it's going to be like. So, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it with me, or
that's what I'm aiming to. I mean, I figured if all else fails, we could just converge Captain Creep into that process.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason why we can't do all sort of different sort of genres, and we slowly sort of change across time and stuff like that. Which is I'm well up for doing different stuff. So fuck it.
So there's some Kiss news on the front, by the way.
Hey, Kiss news. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. So. As we know, the ex-Kiss guitar player Ace Frehley is releasing a new album that should be coming out soon this year. It's going to be compiled entirely of covers, which I'm looking forward to, and it's including such rock Hall of Famers as Slash and John 5, who I'm a huge fan of, and among several others.
Right.
However, rumor has it is that current Kiss bass player Gene Simmons will be playing on this album.
Wow.
Meaning that Gene Simmons, a man who publicly hates Ace Frehley, and Ace Frehley, a man who publicly hates Gene Simmons, will be collaborating once again since Kiss's ill-fated Psycho Circus album.
Oh my God! Right? They're going to be in different studios, though, aren't they? We've got to be in different studios.
I don't know. I don't know how the process goes, because it seems like Ace Frehley has always been more.
Is he sort of hands-on, and he's going to?
Yeah, well, it's not just that he's hands-on. His records are very authentic. I actually like his records a lot. He released 2 solo albums that are fantastic. They're both like hard rock albums, but they're everything you want a good Kiss album to be. And unfortunately, the new Kiss albums just don't cut it.
Right.
So it feels like he would be recording
he's
live.
Going to be there.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be doing too much layering stuff. Because he's also exclaimed many times that he has no idea how to read and write music. So for him, it's easier to just straight up play it. So I'm thinking,
do it. Yeah.
I'm thinking they're going to pull a full Stooges on this. Speaking of the Stooges, man, jumping from subject to subject, Iggy Pop has a new fucking record coming out.
Really?
Yeah. Post-pop depression, and it's collaborated with the guy from the Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh yeah.
I almost said the Stone Temple Pilots, then I remembered he's dead.
Close. Oh yeah, he is now. Yeah. That was only recent, was it? When he died?
Yeah.
Was that towards the end of last year?
I'm the only human being on the planet who's actually disappointed that this new album is going to be a rock punk album.
Oh really? Why? What did you want?
Well, have you heard? Okay, so Iggy Pop released 2 albums, Preliminaires and Après, I think is the name of it. They're both French, and they're both jazz, and they're so fucking great. Yeah, they are. Preliminaires is one of the best goddamn albums I have ever heard. It is in my top 20 easily. It is easily my favorite Iggy Pop album, and it is beautiful. It's sort of a reflection on the decadent culture, but it's also a celebration of death. And it's just it's so good. And you listen to it, and it is holds no bar, genuine New Orleans style jazz.
Okay.
And very blues, and it's so good. And I love the concept that basically Iggy just got fed up with every Tom, Dick, and Andy going out there and grunting on a guitar and not having anything to say. And basically calling that punk rock, and so he did the real punk rock thing of fucking bringing back like Louis Armstrong style jazz.
That's pretty amazing. That is I'm just having a quick look now on Spotify actually, and
I cannot suggest them enough. They're fucking, especially from Après. I think I can't pronounce it. I don't speak French.
Is it Après? Après?
Yeah, Après. Yeah.
Does it mean after?
I think so. It's good, but it's more uplifting. That one's a celebration of life, whereas the first one's a celebration of death. So the second album is very uplifting, and I fucking love it. And I really wanted it to be a trilogy, but unfortunately, he's going back to doing rock and roll, which is where he came from. I will not fucking
that's where he started, kind of thing.
For the one person leaving a comment right now, being like, "You're a dick. He was in the Stooges and he did that song Candy with the girl from the B-52s."
You were not
Candy, I won't let you go.
I haven't listened to much sort of Iggy Pop.
I adore the man.
It's kind of just like looking down all his songs and all that, and it's like, oh yeah, The Passenger, I do.
Well,
Lust
you know,
he Train Spotting,
Lust for Life, and obviously The Idiot are the two that people know the most, because those are the ones that David Bowie produced and played on. Iggy has had some really great stuff. He did an album called Brick by Brick in the 90s, which to me is the penultimate 90s album.
Right.
Because it has a song called Butt Town.
Butt Town.
Yeah. Which has a great chorus. When you live in Butt Town, you've gotta get down in Butt Town. I adore Iggy. He's a talented. He is an alien, and he is fantastic. But that being said, him doing French jazz is so beautiful. So great.
That is so random. That is. I love it.
But there's nothing more punk rock. Like when we're in an era where punk rock is a homogenized thing, where it is literally pull down the knob and here's your slurry of quote unquote punk music. Where you know every beauty queen, every basic. You know, it's no longer an outsider thing. It's no longer the weird kid. It's like everybody has a Green Day record.
Yeah, it's true.
You're right. So why not reclaim and go somewhere else? Why not pioneer? Because that's Iggy Pop in a nutshell as a pioneer. I think a lot of people always say David Bowie was a chameleon, and obviously David Bowie didn't feel that, because to be a chameleon you had to adapt. And I feel that Iggy Pop is very much in that same vein. Although he's more destructive than Bowie. Bowie made pop culture. Iggy Pop always fucked with pop culture.
True. He
always producing something. The original recording of China Girl, which with him on vocals, because Bowie famously covered China Girl, and it's a beautiful song. Original version of China Girl is just. It's destruction. It's like recording a tornado.
Yeah. I need to listen to all this. I'm just sort of favoriting them on Spotify. You know, just talking about sort of like, you know, bands or artists who completely just go off and do something completely different. It just reminded me. I don't know if you've ever heard. I'm a big fan of the Beastie Boys, and it's like loads of hip hop, and there's loads of different influences in there. But like mid '90s, they come out with this album called The In Sound from Way Out, which killed sort of bluesy jazz instrumental album, which is fucking amazing. And I played it to people. I was like, see if you can guess who this is. No one knows who it is. And it's like, this is fucking amazing. It's just them going, yeah, let's just do something slightly different because we want to. I do love the Beastie Boys. So
I need to give the Beastie Boys a fair day in court.
Yeah. It's seriously, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you'll go, oh yeah, License to Ill. Oh yeah, okay. But kind of, I love that album, and that's what got their first album got me into the Beastie Boys. Once you get past that, you start thinking, holy shit, these are good. And then most of their albums from there on in wasn't just hip hop. It was like, suddenly you've got all this hip hop on an album, and then there'll be an instrumental track where they're actually playing instruments. You're like, what the fuck is this? I don't understand. And and this, you can start hearing different influences, like sort of Pink Floyd, and lots of old sort of funk and blues coming through. It's just amazing. Just before we did this podcast, I was kind of just flicking through music channels and looking at different things, and then there's a big list of like an on-demand music thing we've got. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any Beastie Boys. There's loads of Beastie Boys. I was like, oh, great. I'm going to put something from the first album. I can't even remember what. It was a video I'd never seen, and they looked young as fuck. And then it goes on to play a sort of similar style music video. It just starts picking random shit. And the second one it picked was Run DMC. What's the one that Penn and Teller's in? It's Tricky. And they played that video. Penn and Teller was in it. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about this. Have you seen that recently? You remember that one?
I haven't seen that in a long time.
You know what? I kind of forgot about it. Firstly, it's like, holy shit, how young are Penn and Teller? And then it's just the way Penn and Teller are doing the, all this shit on the streets and fucking ripping everyone off and getting the money, and then Run DMC turn up. And basically, they end up sort of ripping Penn and Teller off and getting all the money back. And then towards the end of the video, it's kind of like 3 months later in Japan, and like Run DMC turn up at this like venue to play, and they're like, yo, we're Run DMC, and there's a Japanese guy, and he's like, Run DMC already here. And when you actually look on stage, it's Penn and Teller dressed as Run DMC, kind of playing and pretending to Run DMC. And it's like, oh shit, I forgot about this video. This is great. I've heard Penn talk about it, but I kind of haven't watched it for ages, so it's well worth watching it, especially for Penn's hairstyle as well. It's fucking great. Listen, I know it's just the two of us, but are we going to do a Sonic High School this week?
Well, the next one has an obscene amount of characters, so I'm going to throw this in your ballpark. Like, we can.
Should we just fuck it and do it? So we've got one every week. Cause
let's fucking do it then.
Yeah, should we just do it? Should we do it? I think we should. You're going to do all the characters, though, are you? I don't know. It's up to you.
I only loosely looked at it, so.
Okay. I thought you knew all these off by heart. Because I thought every single
I know some of them by heart. Believe it or not, there are a few of these chapters that I've read so many times, and I've reiterated over and over again out of disbelief. There was a point where I wanted to read it and not be in tears laughing.
Oh,
and so I try to render this, and it's near impossible.
I meant to say early on about Jessica can't be here this week because she's getting new wheels fitted on her vagina, isn't she? That's why she wasn't here. I wanted to say that. I just remembered, yeah. So there you go. So okay, yeah. So I'll change the subject now.
All right. Oh, do you need me to drop the link for you?
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah. It's all very technical, this. So it's yay. Here we go.
All right, so I believe it is your turn to narrate, and we'll make this simple. I'll do male characters, you do female characters.
I do female, yeah. Because I've got a good female voice. That's fine. Yeah. Don't worry.
Well, and I've just the thing is that I've been complimented on doing female voices before, and that's not a compliment you want to get.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. Okay, right, here we go. Sonic High School. Chapter 15. And I've just realized now there is a title for each chapter, isn't there?
Yeah.
Killer on the Loose. Oh, holy shit. Have you seen how they spell loose? L-O-O-C-E. Yeah. Okay.
Killer on the Lukey.
On the Lukey. Shadow and Silver ran ahead.
Into you forgot the author's note.
What's that?
You put an author's note.
Oh, shit. No. I missed that. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Author's note. I wrote this chapter on a train. He said he shouted train. It's all in capitals with an exclamation mark after it. I wrote this chapter on a train. Shadow and Silver ran ahead into the school, but Sonic stopped to go to the bathroom, and he took an enormous, bad-smelling poop. Sonic knew he must be very emotional because this poop was so big that when he tried to flush the toilet, the big poop log just folded in half and clogged the toilet easily while looking like a part of a really fat pretzel that you would get at the mall, not like the little ones in bags from the supermarket. Sonic just said,
"Forget it,"
and ran out of the now very stinky bathroom and after Charmy B. Sonic passed Shadow and Silver, who were in different hallways and going different ways, but he did not pass them at the same time because they were in different hallways, and because even though Sonic was very fast, he could not actually be in two different places at the same time. Sonic went one way and Shadow went the other way and Silver went another way, and it kept happening. One room that Sonic looked in was the art room. It made Sonic remember having art class with Charmy B. Charmy could not control his gay urges like everyone else and used all the colors in every picture, where like Sonic just used blue and Amy just used pink, and other people were also normal like that. Sonic thought about how this was and that it was still surprising that Charmy B could do something like this. Shadow went into a room, among other rooms, that was the car fixing room. Say room again. Shadow remembered about how he had car fixing class with Charmy and how Charmy was really terrible at fixing cars because it was not in him to do something that was like a man would do. Fucking hell, it's so sexist, this isn't. Shadow thought it was weird how Charmy could now do something that was so manly, like killing. And one room that Silver ran into was the gym room, where Silver one time had gym class with Charmy B. He remembered how Charmy was positively the worst at sports and being an athlete, so it made him wonder why Charmy could do something that was actually doing something like killing. Fucking hell, I am lost now. Sonic and Shadow and Silver ran round and round, and eventually they just got tired and could not find Charmy at all. Charmy was trying to be a murderer, but they were just tired of looking for of looking for him. So they sat down in chairs and didn't do anything else now. Back in the front of the school, Amy decided that she needed to go to the bathroom. Rouge. I meant to Google this. Should it be Rogue? Has he just spelled this wrong?
It's Rouge.
It is Rouge. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. I keep forgetting that instinctively. I always want to say...
I knew you said Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. Rouge went with her because she had to go too. And Cream stayed with Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. and Tails, who were still trying to become awake. Most people had left the school by now, but there were still some waiting to get into the woman's bathroom. But Amy and Rouge did not feel like waiting in line, so they just went to the men's bathroom, where normally it was that the people inside were men, and Amy and Rouge were not men, so this was against the rules. As soon as Amy opened the door, a super powered smell hit her in the face. It punched her right in the nose because it was Sonic's poop smell. Oh my God, screamed Rouge. What is that smell? I have heard this. I'm fucking hell. I have heard this smell a million times before, said Amy to Rouge. I had to reread that. Who could say this because she was Sonic's girlfriend, meaning that she had been around Sonic pooping. This smell is Sonic's poop. Amy and Rouge went into the bathroom anyway, because you can never get a break when it comes to going to the bathroom. No matter what, you always end up going, even if you try all to not all night. They were holding their hands above their noses. Not on their noses, just above. And Amy opened up a stall door, and inside what was a shocking thing to see, but she saw it anyway. Charmy B. Oh, Christ knows where this is going. Sorry, it was Charmy B. Ah, it's you, screamed Amy in a scared and shocked way. You're a murderer.
Not yet,
said Charmy. Sorry.
But now I will start to be by killing you.
Charmy jumped. Shakespeare. Charmy jumped at her from inside the stall and into Amy, and they fell back. And Charmy was on top and holding a knife that was about to cut Amy apart when Rouge came over and kicked Charmy, and he flew off her body and over to the wall by rolling. "Take this," said Rouge as she flapped her bat wings at Charmy to push all the horrible poop hair at him. It all went to him, but then Charmy got up and ran right at Amy with his knife to cut her on the legs because he is short, and then jumped back. "Ah!" said Amy. "I'm dying." Amy fell backwards and got dizzy. "No, stay with me," said Rouge. "Use your special move while you can." Amy knew what Rouge was talking about, so Amy used her special attack. Amy shouted, "Girl blood," and opened her legs. Oh, for fuck's sake. And opened her legs, and a stream of blood shot at Charmy. Since Amy was so good at being nice and caring, which is using your heart, Amy was able to speed up her heart so fast that her blood pumped out of the wound on her legs like a super soaker filled up by vampires. The blood hit Charmy in the face and body and all over, really, and it was steaming and burning him, but he looked like he didn't care. Amy looked shocked and yelled, "How can you be so invincible?" Then Rouge said, "I bet he can't handle my special attack, Romance Bite." Rouge flew with her bat wings and went over to Charmy and bit him right in the neck using her fangs and tried to make him fall in love with her, but it did not work. "It is not working," cried Amy. "He must have superpowers. He's going to kill us for sure." Amy and Rouge tried to get away from Charmy, but he kept blocking them and coming at them with the knife. They were finally trapped in the corner, holding on to each other with their best in show boobs, pressing up against each other and looking like the sexiest Legos ever. The fuck? And then all of a sudden, Tails came into the bathroom and threw a piece of electronics at Charmy. Charmy looked up at Tails, and Tails said,
"Wait, who said this?" I think Charmy says this.
Tails. Oh no, hold on. Charmy looked up at Tails. Oh no, it's Charmy. Yeah, you're Charmy. Yeah.
But you, man, yeah, man, you're supposed to, man,
and then died right there. Tails went over to Amy and Rouge and definitely stopped for a second to check out their boobs without them knowing, but then stopped and said,
"You are safe now. That was not Charmy. It was a robot."
"A robot? How did you know?" said Amy. I haven't got a very good Amy voice. I want to start Amy again. "A robot? How did you know?" said Amy. I should have done that all the way through. Tails, being the smartest, thought it was a question for idiots, but said,
"I knew as soon as Charmy was not being hurt by Sonic's poop stink. I was watching from the door. Normally, Charmy would have complained and passed out from smelling that, but he did not. So I knew. As soon as that happened, I ran and went to get a robot killer device from my electronics."
"Wow, thanks," said Amy and kissed Tails on the cheek for a reward. "Really, Tails, you saved us," said Rouge and kissed Tails on the other cheek. "This shows you that you can be cool by being smart, except if you are a nerd ass." Tails and Amy and Rouge walked out of the bathroom and back to where Cream and Knuckles Jr. was, and soon Sonic and Shadow and Silver came back, and they were all back together. The lunch lady was the only other person still there, and she saw how tired they looked, so she made them all a bunch of, what the fuck is that? CHAO. Something meat. Sandwiches. Chow, I don't know. Chow meat sandwiches, and they all ate until their tummies were gonna burst. All the time while they were eating, though, Sonic thought,
"But then, where is Charmy? And where is the guy who made the robot? And so many other things. High school drama is just so crazy to be part of."
That was good. It was worth doing. It was worth doing. Jesus wept.
Girl
Special
blood.
attack. Girl blood.
Girl
Oh,
blood.
that's gross. That is gross, isn't it? That fucking hell. That is that was good. I mean, to be fair, he did write that on a train, or should I say train?
Yeah.
I wrote this chapter on a train. Just stop shouting at me. Fucking hell, that was good. That was good. I just wish if me Amy voice was better. I kind of let that down a little bit. I only picked her up later on, but I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. So that was Sonic High School this week. So we can do it with just two of us. It was fine.
Yeah, we can. That actually came out better. Yeah. Okay, so we have 10 chapters left.
Oh, it's. I don't know what we're gonna do when it's gone. We're gonna have you've got loads of other stuff though, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can find something else. You can find something else. It's really good. Well, we've gone quite over our hour, haven't we? So I guess we better end it here.
Yeah, time to shut the airlock.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll sing just one more song. Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart. You know, with me and you and my dog Tony Longworth, we could do anything that we wanna do.
I want to see how long you'll keep singing. Keep going. No.
Mail time.
So
here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail when it comes. I want to wail.
We'll see you next week. Just remember. If it looks like magic, it is not magic. It is science. So deal with it. Bye.